time for us to do our little feeling old segment known as Rewind, brought to you by our friends at AMC Theaters. And this little segment, we look back at the films celebrating their 10th anniversary this week and the films celebrating their 20th anniversary this week. Turning 10 years old this week, we have Domino, we have Elizabethtown, and we have The Fog. Opening up 20 years ago this week, we have Jade and the Demi Moore classic, The Scarlet Letter. Mark, which of these films do you remember? Which of these films stands out to you?
Oh boy, do I remember The Scarlet Letter, and I was so upset that it came out in October because that was my summer reading book the previous summer. So I didn't get the benefit of just being able to watch the movie. I had to trudge through that Nathaniel Bernita novel, and then the movie comes out like in October, so we already had all the tests for it in September, and so we couldn't get through it. Jade, I also remember because that was supposed to be the movie where David Caruso from NYPD Blue is now going to be this huge movie star, and the movie didn't do that well, and so then David Caruso, it was all of a sudden like, can TV stars make the transition to movies? Right. And that was what everybody measured George Clooney against. Like, well, George Clooney's going to try to do this from ER too. David Caruso didn't have so much success. He had to go back to TV with CSI. So I remember Jade not being the success that everybody thought it might be. None of the movies from 10 years ago I remember checking out. I remember getting excited about The Fog and Netflixing it and being like, yeah, it's okay. But The Scarlet Letter, man, do I wish that movie came out a year ahead of time.
The couple that stand out to me for the wrong reasons. One, The Fog, because that was the one with Tom Welling, was it not? And
Thomas Jane was
Tom Welling.
Tom Welling. Yeah. Thomas Jane
Welling,
was the mist.
Yeah. Right.
We're confusing our particle moisture in the air. Mist and The Fog. And I remember thinking, okay, will this guy be able to break through into movies? It didn't work, so that's unfortunate. And then I think a lot of us were wondering about Orlando Bloom, especially coming out of, because in Lord of the Rings, it's like, did it really take a big thespian to always go, talk like this and look like I'm looking into the future? And then, and of course, he was very much second fiddle in the Pirates of the Caribbean thing. So, but there were big franchises, so can Orlando Bloom be a big star? And then came Elizabethtown, and it didn't take anybody long to realize, no, he doesn't have it. The Orlando Bloom kid doesn't have it. So that was unfortunate as well. Domino was give or take, and there were some things that were good about it, some things that were, but yeah, as a kid, as a younger man, I should say, Scarlet Letter. Yeah, that stood out to me for just some different reasons than you. Schnepp, what about you? What stands out to you?
I remember Domino is like, I really liked Tony Scott's, a lot of his original earlier films, like The Hunger. I liked his directing style. Then he kind of got into this scritchy, scratchy, like a lot of color phasing and weird letter writing on, frame jiggity jaggedying. So that was like, we were talking about Man on Fire with Dennis, and then this also followed that same kind of like, Domino had that kind of whole like, I'm a music video, I'm a movie type thing. So I remember not really digging it too much. I liked the idea of Jade. It was written by Joe Esterhaus, wrote Showgirls, and so it already had this level of scum on it, which was like, all right, I'm going to watch this. And I loved Linda Fiorentino, the actress. Not big fan of Caruso, where read his lines like looking at the paint. But I liked him in Kiss of Death, which was a cool remake of a film noir.
It was good.
Had Nick Cage in it. It was a really fun, cool film, and he'd done a couple other really cool films. I can't remember all of them, but he was like this was supposed to be his big blowout thing, and the movie itself it's not that good. So I remember seeing Jade like, this could be really cool, and it wasn't. So